Sean Diddy Combs' defense attorney tried to convince the jury that Cassie Ventura, his former partner and alleged victim, was never a victim at all. That's already a bold claim. But then it took a turn into outright absurdity by referencing actor Michael B. Jordan during closing arguments. Let that sink in. Not legal evidence, not expert testimony, not timelines or witness contradictions, but Michael B. Jordan, the Hollywood heartthrob, as if his name alone could dismantle years of alleged abuse and rewrite the facts of a deeply serious case. This isn't just a strange choice, it's a calculated psychological tactic. It's designed to inject fantasy into a forum that's supposed to be rooted in reality. But the bigger issue, the media just ran with it. This article mentions the Michael B. Jordan reference like it's some cheeky courtroom moment. Not a dangerous deflection. No real analysis. No pushback. No outrage. Just a passive statement that Diddy's attorney mentioned a movie star while trying to discredit a woman's entire testimony. That's not reporting. That's repackaging manipulation as headline candy. And if the legal team's goal was to make the jury forget about the abuse claims and instead imagine Cassie walking red carpets with Hollywood's most eligible bachelor, mission accomplished. But that shouldn't have worked. Not in a courtroom, not in journalism, not in reality. What exactly does Michael B. Jordan have to do with Cassie's trauma? Absolutely nothing. But his name evokes something: charm, status, desirability, the illusion of a perfect man. That illusion is weaponized here to paint Cassie as someone who chose chaos, not someone who survived it. And that's the real issue, the subtle victim blaming wrapped in star power. By suggesting that Cassie could have been with someone like Michael B. Jordan, the defense implies she had better options and therefore chose her alleged abuser willingly. That's not just false, it's dangerous, because it reinforces a damaging myth that women who look a certain way or date certain men or move in celebrity circles can't be victims, that their trauma is invalid if they ever smiled for a camera or attended a VIP party. And the article? It glosses over that entire implication. There's no deeper dive, no context, no expert opinion on how common it is for high-profile defense teams to use character assassination and pop culture to sway perception. Instead, we're left with a snippet, a courtroom stunt dropped in the middle of a very serious trial and reported like a casual aside, as if using celebrity name-dropping to discredit a woman's claims is just another day in court. But it's not just another day in court. It's a stark example of how power, wealth, and celebrity work together to blur the line between truth and performance. It's the exact reason so many victims stay silent, because they know their abuser's charisma can be more persuasive than their own pain. What's worse? When the media plays along. When articles like this fail to challenge the strategy, they become complicit in it. They give the illusion of neutrality while actually supporting the defense's narrative. They didn't challenge the logic. They didn't ask the tough questions. They didn't explore why this tactic is not just bizarre, but deeply manipulative. They just delivered the line and moved on. And it's not the first time this has happened. We've seen it before. Powerful men using the court of public opinion to their advantage, while their legal teams use charm, distraction, and irrelevant comparisons to poison the jury pool. And we've seen the media fail in exactly the same way, choosing sensational quotes over uncomfortable truths, choosing engagement over ethical responsibility, choosing views over victims. Because make no mistake, referencing Michael B. Jordan was never about facts. It was about feelings, about planting a fantasy in the jury's mind that overrides logic. It's not a defense, it's a distraction. The real question is, why wasn't that the headline? Why didn't the article say, Diddy's attorney uses Hollywood fantasy to undermine abuse allegations? That would have been honest. That would have sparked discussion. That would have actually informed the public. Instead, the article lets it slide. And by doing so, it unintentionally validates the idea that victims have to look broken to be believed. That if they're attractive, connected, or once dated someone famous, they must be complicit in their own suffering. That's the narrative this courtroom moment pushed. And that's the narrative the article allowed to spread, unchecked. But here's the hard truth. Abuse doesn't care about beauty, status, or proximity to fame. It happens behind closed doors, in silence, under the mask of luxury. And using celebrity references to argue otherwise is just another form of erasure. The fact that Cassie's trauma could be so casually undermined with a Hollywood what-if scenario is proof of how skewed our standards still are. And the fact that journalism didn't confront it shows just how complicit our systems of influence have become. This isn't a moment of clever courtroom strategy. It's a moment of systemic failure in law, in media, and in public accountability. And for everyone watching this case unfold, especially younger viewers on platforms like YouTube, this is what they're learning. That if you're rich enough, famous enough, and charming enough, you can turn a trial into a press tour. That's why we have to talk about this. That's why creators, especially independent ones, have to challenge what mainstream platforms won't. Because these moments don't just shape public opinion. They shape what justice even looks like. And when the justice system becomes a stage for celebrity illusions, we all lose.